Hey VC, it's Jonathan, your cheap and cheerful record collector. I'm back. It's been a couple of months since I've done a video. In my last video, I had mentioned that I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. So I've gone through the treatments for that, which was 28 days of radiation treatment. There are a number of different possibilities. My doctors and I decided this worked best for me. Radiation treatment is much less invasive and much less harmful to the body than chemotherapy. So 28 days of that and I'm fine. The main thing is I'm going to be good. So that's the good news. The bad news is that there are 30,000 American men who will die this year of prostate cancer because they didn't get it taken care of. All I can say is if you are a male over 50 years old, next time you go to your doctor, make sure he checks your PSA and watch those numbers. In this day and age, there's absolutely no reason for a man to die from prostate cancer. It is 100% treatable if found soon enough. And if you check your PSA numbers, they will find it soon enough, which is what happened with me. They found it early and they treated it. It wasn't fun. You got to get through it. But once you're done, you're done. So now they're going to just check my PSA. It's a simple blood test once every 6 months. As long as it stays low, I'll be fine. So please, if you're a male over 50 years old, have it checked out and stay on top of it. Okay? That's all. End of my public service announcement. Next is records. This is why we're all here. I been buying a lot of records. I can't stop. What can I tell you? So this is going to be mostly, it's all used records. These are all things I picked up at local record stores, at thrift malls, at thrift shops, at antique malls, whatever. So I'm at the local store a couple weeks ago with my friend Brian from Shamrock and Records, and he said, "Oh, I think this is for you," and it absolutely was for me. And it's Dr. John. It's from 1982, and it's called "The Brightest Smile in Town." Really wonderful record. Most of the songs are instrumentals, which is fine with me because he plays an amazing piano. There are a couple of songs that he sings, and for some reason, the voice is really back in the mix. It's not up front where I like it. It was mastered by Bob Ludwig, so he obviously knows a hell of a lot more than I do about how it should be mixed. But it's sort of annoying that when he sings on a couple of songs, you have to sort of like, what? But great album, really well done. Again, I didn't know any of the songs on this record except for Come Rain or Come Shine and Waiting for a Train. But just a great album on a label I didn't know called Clean Cut Records. But a great find. Big Dr. John fan. Got to see him a couple times. Actually, I also have his signature upstairs. He signed some thing for me. You don't see a lot of Dr. John in the wild. And then 2 days later, I'm at another place and this pops up, Dr. John Tango Palace. I'd never heard of this album before. This is from 1978. And there's the good doctor. So I got home, I put it on, and after the first song is like going, I go like, Disco Dr. John? Are you freaking kidding me? But it's only the first two songs are like that. And after that, it gets really funky and really New Orleans and just wonderful. So if you can ignore or skip the first two songs on the album, you're golden. This is on Horizon Records. And again, except for the first two songs, it's just great. I thought I heard New Orleans Say, Tango Palace, Louisiana Lullaby. Just great stuff. And like I said before, I'm a big fan of the Doctor. Just love it. So Dr. John, Tango Palace, 1978. I'm at an antique mall, and a lot of times I just can't find anything there. I was looking at this one guy's booth of his new releases, a new collection, new stuff he found, and found the Sam Bush album. Sam Bush, a great instrumentalist, real bluegrass, or newgrass, as they say. Besides him, there's Jerry Douglas on this album. There's Norman Blake, John Cowan, and it's just fantastic. Just one of my favorites. A great find. Sam Bush, late as usual, on Rounder Records. You all know that Rounder. One of the labels, whenever I see something on Rounder, if it's cheap, I always pick it up, especially if it's a good condition. So, big fan of that, and now a big fan of Sam Bush. This one I saw at Goodwill. It's a Goodwill find. Again, this is called the Desert Rose Band. It's Chris Hillman from the Byrds, but with him is John Jorgensen, amazing instrumentalist, and Herb Peterson. Just a great country rock kind of album. John Jorgensen has done jazz and gypsy jazz and rock and bluegrass, etc., etc. And Chris Hillman, you know, played with the Byrds and the Flying Burrito Brothers, etc. So a great, great album, especially for the $2 I spent on it. On Curb Records, and part of MCA Curb Records. This is from 1987. So it is digitally recorded, I guess, is what it says on the back. But some great, great music on this one. Absolutely love it. There you go. The Desert Rose Band. This one, I have some of it, but I didn't have the whole thing. So anyway, there's a great blues artist, Mississippi John Hurt. This originally came out as a 2-record set. It's live from Oberlin College, April 15th, 1965. Originally came out as 2 records, and then I guess Vanguard decided to shrink it down. So this is called the Vanguard Midline Series. So it's only one album, and they're the Vanguard Midline Series. But it's just great. Recorded live, like I said, 1965. He had, first side has a lot of religious stuff on it. Here I am, O Lord, send me where I shall not be moved, near my God to thee. And then he goes into Ain't Nobody's Business If I Do, Salty Dog Blues, Coffee Blues, Avalon's my hometown, Make Me Pallet on the Floor. Mississippi John Hurt, one of my favorites, has a very, you expect blues guys to have a rough, gruff voice. He has a very sweet, mellow voice. Almost more in the folk vein, more folk blues than country blues. But the great Mississippi John Hurt. When I was out digging with Brian one day from Shamrock and Records, I passed this up. He went to the same bin, picked it up, and said, "Why'd you leave this? I told you this is a great album." And I said, I didn't see it. So, a band called Dreadful Snakes. This was a Rounder record from 1983, and Ronald White, Jerry Douglas, and Bela Fleck. So you know what that means. You're going to have some great, great bluegrass, some great playing, again on Rounder. Who's Knocking at My Door? Brown County Breakdown, Linda Lou, Lonesome Whistle Blues. Just great. Great musicianship. Love this record. Snakes Alive, the Dreadful Snakes. Definitely worth looking into if you are lucky enough to find it. Here's a band, I've got a number of their records, and this one I've been looking for a while. It's a used record from 1965, I think it is. And it is Kerner, Ray, and Glover. This is the return of Kerner, Ray, and Glover. So that's, they had an album called Blues, Rags, and Hollers, more Blues, Rags, and Hollers. 3 guys from Minneapolis area in the 60s. This is on Elektra. It's a stereo copy, the old Elektra label. Just great, great blues. They influenced a lot of people. They were friends with Dylan early on. Bonnie Raitt was really influenced by them. They, part of that whole white boy blues thing that happened in the early 60s. But these guys are the real deal. They do everything on here from Statesboro Blues to Lonesome Road Pack and Trunk, John Hardy, just fantastic. Spider John Kerner, Dave Ray, and Tony Little Son Glover. Great blues, guitar, harmonica. Can't beat it. The return of Kerner, Ray, and Glover. Another guy who was one of my favorite guitar pickers, country guitar pickers, and talking about Doc Watson. And this is Doc Watson on stage featuring his son Merle Watson. Great double album, also on Vanguard. Great gatefold. This is recorded on live at Cornell University and at Town Hall in New York City. I'm going to say going to be in like 65 or something in that era. And they do everything that I know of them. Brown Ferry's Blues, Deep River Blues, one of my favorites. Banksy, Ohio. I Am a Pilgrim. When the Work's All Done this Fall. Wabash Cannonball. Don't Let Your Deal Go Down, etc. So if you can ever find anything by Doc Watson, this is with his son Merle. Just fantastic stuff. Here's another guy. I saw him probably about 8 or 10 years ago here in Portland. That's Maine, by the way. And I knew the name, but I didn't really know him well. He put on such a great show. It's just him singing and telling songs and telling stories. And I just really loved him, and I've been buying everything I can find by him since then. And that's Roy Bookbinder. He's still around. He's still playing. He's even older than I am, if that's possible. But he's still going around, still playing and singing songs as he is all the time. And this is just great. King Edward Blues, One Meatball, Keep on Knocking, Ragtime Millionaire, Hesitation Blues, Stackley. Roy Bookbinder. This album is called Ragtime Millionaire, featuring Fats Kaplan, who plays the violin, and it's on the great Blue Goose label. Love that label. So if you like the country, he reminds me of Leon Redbone, but not as put on, more genuine. And I just think he's great. Love me some Roy Bookbinder. This one I saw at Goodwill, and I thought I knew all this guy's albums, but I didn't know this one, so I grabbed it. It turned out to be worth a lot more than I expected, and it's Jim Croce, and this is Lost Time in a Bottle. So this is things he recorded early on that were never released, and then his wife and people got together and released a whole bunch of stuff. So some go back as far as 1964, where he's playing live at a college in California. He does San Francisco Bay Blues. He does La Bamba, Seek and You Shall Find, Woke Up This Morning, and then goes into 1973. He has a demo of Time in a Bottle and Bad Leroy Brown, 2 demos on here. Goes up to 1973, where he plays at other college, Harper College, You Don't Mess with Jim. A lot of stuff but just done live, and it's just wonderful, especially the early stuff. It's just great. Always felt a fondness for the late, great Jim Croce. So a great album. Again, not easy to find, worth a lot more than I paid for it. At the same time I picked that up at the same Goodwill, this was sitting there, so of course this had to come home with me. One of my favorites, Janice Joplin. This is Joplin in concert. And of course, if you watch my channel, I told the story. I lucky enough to see Janice 3 times. She was a force of nature in concert, absolutely. So this, some of it is with, actually, there's 2 records. One record is with the Big Brother and the Holding Company, mostly live. And the second album is with the Full Tilt Boogie Band, which is also done live. 68 with the Big Brother and the Holding Company, in the Grand Ballroom in Detroit, Michigan, and in Winterland. And then the Full Tilt Boogie Band is recorded in 1970 on the Canadian Festival Express. So great stuff. Does all the stuff you know about her, but really done well, and great to add it to my collection. The great Janice Joplin. When I went out for Record Store Day, I'll show the records I got from that next time. They had a bin of stuff they were putting on sale. So I saw 2 records there and I had to grab them. Otis Redding, it's a compilation. They call it the Dock of the Bay Sessions. Compilation of his work. A lot of stuff I didn't have. Some I did. Has sitting on the dock of the bay, thinking about it. Hard to Handle, which is fabulous. The Happy Song, Love Man, which is great. I've Got Dreams to Remember. I'm a Changed Man, Gone Again. Just great. It's a repress on Volt, but virtually brand new, so couldn't let it sit there. Let's see, I think I'm going into jazz now, mostly. I got a couple other things. All right. This was also from that same day at the record store for Record Store Day, and I'd never seen this one before, and it's Dave Brubeck à la mode. This is a UK pressing. I can't remember the date on it. I should have looked it up. Recorded June 1960. And it's a UK pressing on Bacallian label. It's featuring Bill Smith, who I didn't know. Bill Smith is a clarinet player. And that's okay. Not a huge fan of clarinet players, but he does fine. And it's just a great, great album. Joe Morello and Eugene Wright, along with Dave Brubeck. So Dave Brubeck, UK pressing, Brubeck a la mode. This one, complete blind buy, saw it at Goodwill. A guy named is Jimmy Mosher Quartet. I assumed it was jazz right away. It has alto sax, Tom Rainier on piano, which I don't know, Joel DiBartolo on bass, and Peter Donald on drums, recorded in 1981. But the reason I got it is that it's signed on the back by Jimmy Mosher. So I figured, what the hell? I'll give it a shot. My face is really in the dark here, isn't it? Anyway, you don't have to look. You know what I look like. This was great. Really nice jazz, very mellow. I mean, nothing earth-shattering, but just a great little jazz album. And real happy with that one on Discovery, which I'd never heard of before, Discovery Records. And yeah, I guess Jimmy Mosher at one time played with Chick Corea and Elvin Jones, Maynard Ferguson. One of those guys that's been around but never made a big name for himself. He did this side better. That doesn't matter. There you go. Jimmy Mosher. Another one I picked up recently. Anytime I see anything by this guy, I got to grab it in jazz. It's Hugh Masakela from South Africa. This is live, and Hugh Masakela is alive and well at the Whiskey. And this one, they spell whiskey without the E, so this is a misprint. Big freaking deal. But it sounds great. Recorded live, has really great energy on this album on Uni label. This is from, I didn't have the date on here. I'm going to say the mid-60s. And it's on stereo. It's great. He played great horn player. They do Lighter Shade of Pale, Up and Away. Just great jazz album. A lot of fun with that African influence there. This one was a record I had a lot in the, I had and listened to a lot in the late 60s, early 70s. He had a couple albums by this band. I saw this was really cheap. I said, I got to grab it. And it's called Joy of Cooking. Tony and Terry Garthwaite and Tony Brown, I think it was. Don't really give them much credits here, do it. 1972. Tony Brown and Terry Garthwaite. They did a number of albums, and then one of them went to Nashville to do a country album, and I guess never came back, and the band sort of fell apart after that. On the Capitol label. Really nice harmonies with the two women. Very country blues kind of feel to it. They have a number of albums out and a couple of solo albums out. I like it a lot. Tony Brown, Terry Garthwaite, sort of country folk blues. This one I just knew the name, so I had to grab it, and it's Speedy West, steel guitar. Speedy was a Nashville studio musician, and played on a lot of people's records, so he didn't have a lot of solo stuff. But when I saw this on the great Stetson label, love that label, I had to grab it. It's all instrumentals, and it's all Speedy playing some great pedal steel guitar. So definitely a great buy. Happy to grab it. Speedy West. And the last one, this is a band, I've seen their records, and for some reason I just never grabbed it. I was so happy I did this time. And it's a band called Ocbisa. There's an album called Heads. I guess they have a number of albums out. I guess they opens up like that so you can see. Reminded me of a little bit of the early Santana stuff, but it's just wonderful. So I got to look for more by them, Ocbisa. I could read you the names of the band, but it wouldn't mean anything. Until there they are inside. I love that on the end there. Ocbisa, definitely great stuff. I have the number of albums out. This was recorded July, August 72. I guess they were from Africa, but they had relocated to England, and this album they recorded in England, most of their stuff. So, Ocbisa. So that's sort of enough. That's 20 minutes. I think it's enough time to listen to me rattle on. I'll be doing more videos, hopefully on a more consistent basis, so you can jump in and watch it. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and give me a like if you haven't liked my channel before. Next video, I'll be showing new records I bought, things that are new presses, etc., etc. Okay, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, hanging in there with me all these past couple of months. I'm glad to be back, and until next time, peace.